Shalom, shalom. Kal halalim la banawa Yahweh alahayanawa bahashem Yahweh Shai bahashem Racha HaKodash. Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai bahashem Racha HaKodash. As we've seen in this world, usually when I speak, I go into a bit of a tangent. I go all over the place because my mind wanders in 100 different directions. Because I go into a particular subject and I get all these different thoughts coming in my head about what other people are thinking and what other people have stated. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna speak in a broad spectrum. Okay. I like the brother Nat King Cole. Okay. I'm a '70s baby, so being born and raised here in the UK, I grew up on a lot of American stuff. Obviously, a lot of Jake music because I'm a Jake myself, and I like music from especially from the '50s, '60s, '70s, '80s, all the way to the '90s, to a stretch maybe 2003. But the bulk of his '80s and '90s. There's a lot of nostalgia there for me. Um, and I was reading some comments. You should always read up on the comments, especially of really good music that is from the heyday when Esau had the upper hand to a certain degree. I was reading a comment on one of Nat King Cole's tracks. Okay, there was an Edomite there. He's in his 70s. He said, "I'm in my 70s and I'm crying because I remember when the world was a better place than this dark world that we're in right now." Okay. And a lot of Edomites are crying, man. A lot of Edomites are going through hell because they don't know it yet, whether they know the greater truth that they're going into slavery and that this is it for them. After this time, they're not going to be mowing lawns and they're not going to be waxing their vehicles on a Saturday morning. They're not going to be, walking their poodles on a clean pavement with immaculate driveways and lawns, Um, It's not going to be like that movie, if you've seen it, with Tom Hanks called The Burbs. I think it made in '86 or '88. Watch that movie. That's how Esau lived. And by the way, in that movie, they only show one Jake in there. And guess what he does? He delivers milk. No, actually, yeah, something like either that or he was either lawn fertilizer or milk. So basically, this is a world without Jake, you know, seen but not heard, or very rarely seen and very rarely heard. And Esau's feeling it. And then you got your 2/3 out there that don't want to have a world without Esau and the heathen nations, right? But those that are in the know, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, that we have learned from our teachers on down, from Abba Bivens to the seven, which is, I believe, High Priest Ariyah and High Priest Yaikwab and King Marsha are a part of. Salaki, I don't know all the names. And obviously our apostles and bishops on down and our prophets of the men of Great Millstone, and double honors to them, by the way. Right? And obviously we're in a world right now where everything is just destroyed, where the woman doesn't seem to need the man. And I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, you don't need a man. How do you women take care of your needs and requirements? Let's just say, okay, regardless of everything else, how do you take care of your needs on a physical level? There's only so much plastic and batteries can do, because really the Most High even said that, man and woman shall become one flesh. That skin to skin passion is needed between a male and female. That connection needs to be there. I forgot that lady's name. She was quite attractive back in the day. She was in the video Toss It Up with Tupac. Then she was in that movie The Players Club. She was attractive back then. This is like the mid-90s. I forgot her name, man. The one with the green or gray eyes, tan skin, long hair, nice looking. Forgot her name. I'm not going to look for it right now, though. I'm just going to forget where I'm at. Yeah, she even said that, she wants a man to be on top of her. She likes a man to be on top of her. She wants to feel that connection, And it's like these women, Esau's doing so much out there in terms of his enchantments and magic on the left-hand side that, those that don't have that protection can't really see it. And they feel that because a lot of these women engross themselves in their careers and their jobs, but then they're feeling it when they come home alone to an apartment alone, and then they're laying in their bed at night and they get that tingle between their legs, you know, and they have no man, then they feel it, you know. But a lot of women are followers. Women will always follow, and they follow what the other women are going to say, you know. And incidentally, there's a couple that I watch. They're a Benjamite couple from Canada. They do reaction videos. Okay, a Jake couple, so-called black couple, right? I'm not going to mention who they are. All right, there's loads of Jake couples, but anyway, they react to They react to movies, and if you look at the thumbs up, their thumbs up just maybe going to a few hundred, right? Or a few hundred, and then after about a year and a half, his ex-woman, uploaded a video talking about that she's separated from him. And then I looked at the video, the thumbs up, it was in the thousands. Basically, women don't like seeing other women happy. Women don't like to see other women happy. Women will always downplay and talk negative on relationships about about another woman's man in front of that woman to try and entice her, because Satan jumps into the other woman to try and entice her friend, saying, "Oh, you don't need him. You don't need him. Men are this and men are that, or he's not all that, or whatever, whatever, whatever," and try and entice your woman to go out on a girls' trip, or go out on a club. And I've been in that situation, with my ex-wife, because she had friends that weren't man, she had some effed up friends. All right. Um, And women don't like to see other women happy or have a man, especially if they're single. Okay? And that's just the way women are. Women are very covetous, very jealous, very bitchy with each other. All this girl power bullshit. That's just all a facade. Okay? And now it brings me back to this subject, where women, like drama in their life. They think it's like a badge of honor to be, pity them, and oh, I had a bad childhood, and I've been ran through, and men don't take me seriously, and boo hoo 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 hoo, like it's some kind of gold chain around their neck with a medallion. It's just weird. It's like, where is the badge of honor? you know like my mother's sister used to say, she used to talk about women who cut their hair short, and my mother's sister used to say, uh when we were young in the 70s, we used to tie our hair back into a bun, and then we used to feel so proud, or we used to feel like, we're being women because we got long hair. Now these girls these days just cut their hair off and they can actually grow it. And I'm talking about Israel, foreigner women, okay, that can actually grow hair regardless of what tribe they're from. Like even Northern Kingdom women, if you see them, they have, most of the older generation have long hair, or they have hair up to their waist, or they're at least below their shoulders, right? And then this masculine identity started coming over women. And then, women will talk about it. Where's the badge of honor of women wanting to be mothers and wives and taking care of the household and having a smile on their face and being content spiritually, physically, mentally? Spiritually, because they're doing what the Yahweh Shemashai asked them to. Physically, because they're getting that D as well from their husband, and they've got that connection. Because women can't sport. I'm gonna say sport fuck like the way a man does. Okay, women are not designed for that. That's why you're so bugged out, and you're so mad, and you're so crazy, and you're doolally. Basically, your brain ain't wired right after all that nut that you've taken in through your mouth and through your vagina. You're not right. Okay, women that have stuck out with the first man that they laid with. If you look at those women today, yeah, husband couples go the ups and downs, but for the most part, they have that even balance because the Lord was with them, right? And then I was just, it brings me to the point. I was thinking about how women are and how they're influenced. How you see videos of young children twerking and, especially young Jakes wearing purses and tight jeans, were to the point where this fitted jeans, you know, where a man can wear fitted jeans, especially if you got a good physique, and you want to dress sharp for the ladies like the brothers used to back in the late '80s, right? And then there's like skin tight shit, like women wear leggings or yoga pants. That's some of these young Jakes are wearing, you know, and and it's like this emasculation of the Jake man and the masculization of the Jake woman. You know, the tattoos everywhere, and the ridiculous piercings in the face and the eyebrows. The nose is okay except the septum ring, and the ears are fine, but no tattoos, no wigs. All right, and that goes across the board. All right, with all the 12 tribes of women, regardless of how they look. And these women, Esau's trying to destroy Jake so much in what they do in the neighborhoods, the hoods, the financial infrastructure of this world. Even though Jake built it all with his entrepreneurship and the spirit Yahweh Shemashai gave him, right? These Edomites are trying to destroy Jake in every way, man. First separating the households, and then the man can't be in the house if you want to get X, Y, and Z benefit. This so-called women empowerment, what have you done for me lately, and all that shit that started in the, I believe, 70s or 80s. And prior to that, I'm every woman, to the left by Beyonce, you know, and that track by, is it Neo, Independent Woman, all that bullshit has led to the destruction today. You got Cardi B and Megan the Stallion, who I believe is already a man, um, coming out, women dressing scantily clad, not leaving nothing to the imagination. Then on top of that, uh, for and then on top of that, twerking, where young children are copying it and thinking that this is how I want to be. Shows like the Cosby Show, which were demonized, even though there was fuckery in that as well. But for the most part, it was, it looked like a healthy Jake family. They didn't want that. Okay, they don't want Jake to copy that. They don't want Jake children to copy that, but they wanted, Jake children to copy the likes of NWA and Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't even know these new artists today, and they all look the same. What's that other name? Sexy Red, whatever. They want to be like that, you know. And with that becomes the demise of the household even further. Hence the reason why so-called black women act terrible, okay, and then no man wants them, then they complain. And then when they do get taken, they get taken by men of other nations, and they get used as a sex toy. Because no man's going to take them seriously and marry them. They just want to run through them and do all sorts of sordid sex. You know? You women, you black so-called black women are sex toys to the man, to a heathen men. There's a brother from the GMS London camp. He was on a train. This is a while back. I think it's a brother from Eritrea. Okay? Israelite foreigner brother. He was on the train, and there was an Edomite there rubbing on the butt of a so-called black woman. And when he looked at him, the Edomite started smiling at the Jake and started rubbing the so-called black woman's butt even further, which goes to show that Edomite wasn't sincere. He definitely wasn't an Israelite foreigner, the one who looked like a cracker. He was rubbing on the so-called black woman's backside, right, rubbing on it, knowing that, okay, he's just pretending, telling her what she wants to hear. She thinks he's God because he's a so-called white man, right? And he's just basically using her as a sex toy. And he's telling all his Edomite friends, I've got this ninja woman, this is what I'm doing to her, blah, blah, blah. And I've seen this so many times, man. All right, that's what these so-called black women are. Okay, and then you got the likes of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, you know. And if you know the songs to WAP or WAP, okay, wet ass, you know, wet ass cookie, right? Where's that lyric I want you to get? Make me dream, make me stream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. Okay? The way through a man's heart is through his stomach. I'm quoting Apostle Tahar. All right? And it's true. If a woman looks good and she cooks for you good, man, that woman's one. Okay? Okay, listen, the sex part is definitely necessary, right? But that's not all a relationship is. If you're gonna give a man stress and headache all the time, and you're not gonna cook or clean, I've seen so many videos of Jake on on Tik. Actually, I don't watch TikTok, on YouTube. Complaining that he's come from work and his woman has been home all day, hasn't cleaned the house, hasn't made no food for him, has not put out no food for him, made no food for him, isn't looking well groomed or clean when he comes home, so he can get some as well to relieve his stress when he comes home from work. And the bitch is complaining that I don't have to do this and that and the third for you. Then I'm thinking, you think to yourself, why did even this brother marry this woman? Why? Okay, that's why brothers need to stay away from the so-called black woman, man. Listen, there's anomalies out there. I like so-called black women too, but there's anomalies out there that are decent, well, somewhat decent. They are workable. I'll put it that way, and that goes for all women, Israelite women. But the Judite woman, right? There's some out there that are workable, especially the ones from West Africa. They got a little bit of femininity to them, to a certain degree, unless they're westernized, right? So I'm not gonna put them down like that. But even though most of them are effed up, all right. So if you're not gonna cook or clean, what is the purpose of you? Because what's the definition of woman? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Okay. Look, they got an image of here a woman. This thing looks like one of them tea people. It's rank looking nasty thing here. Anyway, the word woman comes from the Old English wifman, which means woman, female, servant. Woman means servant. You're supposed to serve your husband, okay? All right? The word woman has evolved to mean an adult female human belonging to a specific occupation, group, nationality, or other category. All right? The way the Lord has made it, okay? It's the Most High Yahweh, then Yahweh Shai, then the man, then the woman, then the children. Okay, your head is your husband. All right. Hence the reason why you got to cover your head. The man doesn't have to cover his head when he prays to the Most High, but you women have to because you're honoring your husband. All right. So the word has evolved to mean an adult female, like the word gay, which in the ancient world or prior to this foul world that we're in, what meant happy. Even the rainbow symbol that has nothing to do with sodomites. All right, but now the new speak, because Esau's been doctoring the English language, right, making words mean different things. Okay, but ultimately the word woman comes from the Old English wifman, which means woman servant, and as you can see, there's a speech marks, emphasizing woman, female, servant. Okay, maid servant specifically refers to a woman who works in a domestic capacity. So that's what woman means. Okay, let me get that scripture up. A man is the head of the woman. So you women are meant to be. Okay, 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, Yahushai. Okay, they call him Christ. Okay, but I'm not going to use it the heathen term Christ. And the head of the woman is the man. Okay, which is your husband. Okay, the first man you lay with that pops your seal is your husband. All right, and the head of Hamashiach is God, who would be Yahweh. So, and the head of Yahushai is Yahweh. Okay, that's the structure. You see that pyramids, or what you call a hierarchy in a company. You got the MD or the owner or the CEO, whatever, or co-founder, and then you got like the employees, and they got the specific positions. This is the position here on earth, man. All right. But I would 1 Corinthians 11:3 again. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach Yahushai is Yahweh, Abanawa Yahweh. That's the structure. I'll read it here. Okay, I'll read it as it is now. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Okay? All right? There is no equal 50-50 partnerships. None of that bullshit. You understand? There is none of that. None of that. All right. Genesis 2:18. And the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet." Who was that helpmeet? Huh? Let's go to the next verse. Verse 19. And out of the ground the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam, and to see what he could call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Where's the one? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's carry on. Actually, it's gonna come to the beautiful part here. And out of the ground, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he could call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. All right. Adam means formed from the dust of the ground. All right, and the ground or the soil is different shades of brown. So you crackers can't claim that. You Edomites. All right. And Adam gave names to the cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. So Adam was doing all this work, okay, and he needed basically a servant, all right, a helpmeet, all right. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashai caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh thereof. Let's go to okay. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashai caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Verse 22, and the rib which the Lord Yahweh Shemashai had taken from man made he a woman, a servant, and brought her unto the man. Okay? Then verse 23, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, which means female servant, because she was taken out of man. Hence the reason why Jake says, oh, that's my rib, that's my rib, that's my rib. Okay? Okay? You were made for the man. Okay? The woman was not made, the man was not made for the woman, but the woman for the man. Okay? Actually, let me get that scripture. Man, no, woman, man was not made for the woman. Okay? You're supposed to be a helpmeet. You're supposed to be a female servant to the man. Okay? To help him, day-to-day activities, to be a pillar of rest. All right? You take care of the household. So when he comes home, he doesn't have to wash the dishes or do the vacuuming or this, that, and the third. He's supposed to do the manly things, like maybe mow the lawn, maybe repair the roof, So when he comes home, he's got some relief sexually, right? He's got a hot food, so he's got his strength to perform and take care of his manly things, right? And go to work the next day, and also come home to a clean house. It's beautiful when you come home from a hard day's work and you come home and everything's just laid out and the house is clean, and all you got to do is shower up and get yourself a nice cold beer. You knock that back, you have your meal, and then you deal with your woman. That's how a man is balanced. Okay? So you are to serve your man. This is why there's so much imbalance in the world and so much craziness. And that's why you women aren't happy, but you try and fill that up with frivolous things, man. All right? Okay, this is a commandment. This is a structure set by Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, who you ignorantly call God or Christ. God and Christ. Okay? 1 Corinthians 11:9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Okay? All right? The image you see, all right, on walls, especially of these Afrocentric jakes, where they have a man was it upholding the world for the woman or something like that? Some kind of image like that, where the man has always got the brunt of the weight, and the woman is just sitting there with her legs crossed, looking pretty. No, it's supposed to be the other way around. And there's no 50-50. Okay? Now if you look at if you look at a line, he's got his wives with him, right? That he's sitting with his cubs, chilling under the tree, while his wives, all right, the female lions go out and hunt and gather. And that's across the board with a lot of ancient cultures. And in fact, I know a lot of Israelite foreigner men that are from the same part of the world where my family's from. There's a lot of Jake up there, right, in North India. They're married to Polish women, and I believe some of those Polish girls are Jake too because they're very attentive, very feminine. They could be Edomites, all right, but they're very, you never know. It doesn't matter what a woman is anyway, but they're very attentive, very feminine, and they go out to work and take care of the house. Okay, so all the Jake man has to do is go out there and work, man. All right. So they have a similar mindset. But you women expect a man to go out and work, a Jake man to go out and work and tend to you and to be a psychoanalyst for you or psychotherapist, whatever that term is, to analyze your brain that you're not happy or something ain't going right with you. You're supposed to make the man happy. We're not supposed to worry about you. We're supposed to worry about you, but not like to the terms that you're not happy. If you're not happy, there's something wrong with you. Demons are messing with you. Okay? Because, as the world says, man, social media has destroyed women and porn has destroyed men. You know? That's why there's so much imbalance in the world. That's why Israelite foreigner women or some of the other tribes, Northern Kingdom especially, do a little bit better in the marriage department because they taught, as they say that term from the old country, how to be a wife and a mother. Especially Southern Italian women, who are predominantly a good portion of them are Israelites. When they go out with a man, if you watch the movie Godfather, is it part two? Yeah, part two. Okay, when Michael or Miguel goes to Sicily and he sees that beautiful young, more than likely Judite woman, right, with a lovely dark hair and dark eyes, you know, um, you saw how the family was walking right behind her when he was courting her, and then when he married her, he took her that night, made her his wife. You think the other men ran up in that? That was his, okay? Because when you women have sex with a man, what happens? Hormones are released where you fall in love with a man because there's a real physical connection, spiritual connection. For a man, there's a spiritual connection, but it's also a release, and we can have multiple wives because we're not the same. You women always think that the man is the same as you. No, we're completely different. Okay? So the man was not created for you, but you are created for the man. 1 Corinthians 11 and 9 again. Neither was a man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest, not a pillar of stress. You're his possession. What about that other video that was out a couple of months ago where there's a sorry Jake on his wedding day and his woman was asked to obey when the preacher was reading the so-called, what are these terms that they use in modern marriage? To obey. The term obey, she paused. And I thought to myself, why is he even marrying this little woman, spending all this money getting married to her? You could have got yourself a nice car, you know, on this bitch, and she's not even really willing to obey. I bet she's not going to even cook for you. Well, let's hope everybody cussing them out and making videos about them online, especially the prophets of Great Millstone. Hopefully they'll come to their sense. Hopefully she'll come to her senses and say, you know what, I've got to be a wife to this man. All right, because you are his possession. All right. Well, you are the possession of the first man that laid with you. Okay. Especially the Israelite male. But you Israelite women lay with everybody these days. Even the same sex, for crying out loud. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. That's what you're supposed to be. Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is above rubies. King Solomon had 1,000 wives, man. 700 wives, 300 concubines, all beautiful, fine, what the world would call tens, all right? But me personally, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because there's beautiful women out there like Michelle Pfeiffer, for example. She's attractive, but she doesn't do anything for me, you know? So beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And and a virtuous woman, her price is above rubies. So King Solomon had wives that were like all super fine, all virgins, I mean, all untouched. Okay, he was the only man to see the nakedness and deal with him in in a physical way, have children with him. Yeah, no man touched it, but still, he did not find one virtuous woman. And this was the ancient world. How much more today? He didn't find not one woman in 1,000 virtuous, right? And out of 1,000 men, right? Just to see, the difference between males and females, he found one. I believe it was one, yeah, amongst 1,000 men, just to see that who he can have under his wing in terms of as you say, your partner, your friendships and all that kind of thing, so-called brotherhood, you know, because a virtuous woman, man, and this is from the ancient world, man, is above rubies, But who can find that, especially now? And even if you are in a relationship and she's so-called good to you, she's not so-called good to you, man. All right, just gotta be careful, man. Just it's as hard as it is. A man should not fall in love with no damn woman, man. We make fools of ourselves, especially when we're young, 18, 19 years old. You know, especially when there was a somewhat a bit of romance in the air. I'm talking from my point of view, especially in the early to mid late 90s and all that. That was the age of you know roses and chocolates giving to a woman, and you see a lot more couples out in the parks and walking around. You hardly see that today with this generation. But apparently, there's supposed to be a lot more sex going on, which I highly doubt, because these youngsters these days, they're just gaming. You know, it's just it's a lot more women out there that are doing foul things. Hence the reason why this world is turning into Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Babylon, Babel, confusion. You know, let me go ahead for a second, man. It's Ecclesiasticus 7:28, right? Let me just read here 1 second, man. Yeah, in the book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon reflects on his search for wisdom and understanding, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not one among 1,000 have I found. But a woman among all those have I not found. Okay? King Solomon expresses his difficulty in finding a virtuous woman while he encountered upright men. He struggled to discover a woman who met his standards. Okay? That was Ecclesiasticus 7:28. Okay, though I have searched repeatedly, I have not found what I was looking for. Only one out of 1,000 men is virtuous, but not one woman. And that's the NLT, New Living Translation. And that's Ecclesiastes 7:28. And even in the ancient world, you women went SHIT, man. And what's the meaning of virtuous? Having or showing high moral standards. Chaste, typically used of women. What does chaste mean? Abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse. Okay? I mean, in the ancient world, some women were so righteous they were righteous to a certain degree where they, uh, um, uh, if their husband died in war or whatever, they would not marry because they were so in love with that man. They just didn't want another man touching them, you know? And, a chaste, like having no, abstaining from extramarital. You're not supposed to have no extramarital affairs because that's adultery. A man can have multiple women provided those women are single, but a woman that's taken cannot have another man. Okay, because that's adultery. And a man dealing with a married woman is adultery. A man having 1,000 wives that are single, hey, that's not adultery. That's righteous, as long as you can take care of them. Okay, okay. This is the reason, you women. Let me just get rid of some of these pages. Okay, this is the reason why you women are having such imbalance in this world. You're listening to the stupidity of Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, and those bitchesses, right, are bought and paid for. Their job is to lead you astray, the way Martin Luther King led his, the way he said it, I led my people to a burning house, into a burning house. Right? Their job is to lead you astray, and they get rewarded for that heavily. Okay, but they still have to do all the rituals and all the sodomite activity and all the demonic activity. Then they wonder why they can't sleep at night. They're always drugged up all the time. I mean, you got the likes of Jim Jones is always half asleep all the time, looking like he woke up on the streets every day looking rough as f. You know, you got Mike Epps in his younger years who was always coked up, and he's got a new Netflix show. Now, what do you think he did for that show, huh? And these women, they get used and abused, man. Okay, but they get rewarded with contracts and staying constantly busy and filling their day. There's nothing wrong with having nice things, of course, but they fill their day as long as you earn that money righteously. All right, through the sweat of your brow. Uh, yeah, these women get rewarded. They get rewarded for doing evil because they're leading. They're making Esau, the so-called white man, and the heathens happy because they're destroying Israel. Because Esau wants his birthright back, which he never had in the first place, because it's not for him. All right. If he had any kind of birthright or any kind of connection to it, this, he would have the salt to make this world run. All right. But he doesn't have that salt or that flavor. He's just a cave dog. That's all he is. He's like a maggot. Okay. Surviving on the crumbs. Okay. That Israel, surviving on the bread that Israel has made. And those crumbs that fall on the floor, Esau's like a maggot that needs those crumbs to survive. Okay. And you women out there, especially you Israelite women, and you other women, especially you Israelite women, let's focus on you, all right, that have sold your people out for those few crumbs just to lie on the ground with a maggot Esau. Okay? And then you wonder why you're not happy. Then you wonder why, you look in the mirror, you see demons. Then you wonder why you can't sleep at night. Okay? Do you realize when death comes knocking at your door, it's going to become in such a humongous way? Because there's balance in this world. Yahweh Hashem Yashai, on the left hand side angels have given you all these so-called pleasures, which I don't believe you're really enjoying anyway. You know, you wake up in a lovely, beautiful home, you know, swimming pools and all that kind of stuff, palm trees. And then in the evening, you got to go to some seated party and then get ran through by a whole bunch of men, probably even women with strap-ons, you know, which I heard that Queen Latifah does that sort of thing too. Yeah. And then you probably got to drink some blood and eat some feces, you know. And then you're like a doctor always on call, especially for an attractive so-called attractive Israelite woman like Beyonce. You're going to get that call from a certain person saying, okay, yeah, he or she will pay you X, Y, and Z if you come and do this, that, and that for him. And if you say no, they're going to freeze your accounts. That's the life you lead, man. But some of you are just made and created for the sword. But the one third, the elect women, they're going to be all right because they're going to be paired up with or not paired up, a whole bunch of you women are going to be with the one, out of the flock. A lot of you women are going to be wives to a man of the Lord. You're going to be all right. This is the reason why there's so much imbalance in the world. Okay, so the word woman means servant. You're supposed to serve your man. There's no equality. There's no 50-50. There's no partnership. Okay, the man and woman can have a conversation. She can, give him a few ideas, but the ultimate decision, okay, when the hammer hits, what's that thing the judge uses? The hammer hits that wooden bit. Yeah, once the final decision is made, once that stamp is, once the the final decision is made, that's a man's decision, not no woman. All right. Okay, that's why A lot of you guys pine for a world you guys didn't even grow up in. Oh, this is how it was in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, it was bad then, but it was not as bad as it is now. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there now. Okay, so you women are servants. The reason why you're unhappy, and you can cover it, sugarcoat shit as much as you want. You can put fucking sugar on the shit. You can put cream on top of it, put cherry on it, put some chocolate sprinkles. It's still shit when you cut in deep. This is the reason why you women fill your days with bullshit because you're really hurting. Okay, and you're too proud to say that you need a man. So you need the manly comfort, and you're too proud to serve a man, and too proud to be a woman. But you're gonna find out when these martial law troops hit the ground, armed up. Okay, you know, all that. Oh, this is a free country. This is this and that, and the third. And especially if you live alone, or whether you live, you're gonna be taken. Especially if you look good. All right. I want to see your GI Jane activities that day. Your GI Jane tactics that day. All right. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Mawatha Badbabal, Kwame Yashwala, Shalom.